Fans were stunned. Angel Reese just got exposed on live TV by her own Chicago Sky coach and even a veteran teammate. What was supposed to be a normal game instantly turned into a career-defining embarrassment, and millions saw it unfold in real time. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what Reese said that crossed the line, the brutal clapback from her veteran teammate, how her coach embarrassed her in front of the cameras, and the shocking ripple effect this could have on her career, the Chicago Sky, and even future free agents. And trust me, the ending will leave you questioning whether Reese has already destroyed her own future in the WNBA. Fans couldn't believe what they just witnessed. Angel Reese, the so-called face of Chicago Sky, was not only called out live on TV by her veteran teammate Courtney Vandersloot, but even her own coach stepped in publicly. This wasn't just another locker room spat. This was a line in the sand, and millions of fans saw it play out in real time. The drama has officially left the locker room and entered the national spotlight. But this shocking moment is about more than just a single comment. It's about a rising star who may have underestimated the weight of her words. Reese's live TV misstep has now sparked a storm. Sponsors are questioning her maturity, teammates are losing patience, and fans are openly asking if Chicago should cut ties now before it's too late. Let's break down how this all unfolded and why it might mark the beginning of the end for Angel Reese in Chicago. Reese just doesn't get it. You can't trash veterans and expect respect back. That was one of the most upvoted fan reactions after the live TV drama. Another countered, "She's young, she'll learn." But Chicago is making her look worse by letting this get public. These aren't trolls, these are longtime WNBA fans who are stunned at how fast the situation spiraled out of control. What makes this so wild is the divide in public opinion. Half the fanbase sees Reese as immature and disrespectful, while the other half insists she's simply speaking her mind in a league that desperately needs personality. But here's the truth, personality only works when you're winning, and Reese hasn't earned the leverage to insult legends yet. And that's when people started digging deeper into exactly what she said. It started with a simple remark in a press scrum that Reese probably thought was harmless. She hinted that Courtney Vandersloot was too old and implied she wasn't reliable enough to help the Sky win consistently. That single phrase, "too old," hit harder than anything else she could have said. Vandersloot isn't just a random teammate. She's a championship veteran, a respected leader, and one of the most accomplished point guards the WNBA has ever seen. By taking a shot at Vandersloot, Reese didn't just insult one player. She insulted the culture of the Chicago Sky, the same organization that once raised a championship banner with Vandersloot leading the charge. And when Reese doubled down instead of walking it back, the stage was set for a confrontation no one could ignore. On live TV, Vandersloot finally responded, and it was the kind of clapback only a true veteran could deliver. Calm, measured, but cutting, she reminded everyone watching that respect in this league is earned, not demanded. No yelling, no drama, just facts. The entire arena seemed to pause when she said it. It wasn't just a reply to Reese. It was a message to every rookie who thinks their hype is bigger than the game itself. Fans instantly noticed the difference in tone. Vandersloot didn't need to stoop to Reese's level or fire back with insults. Her words carried the weight of experience, and her composure embarrassed Reese more than any direct attack could have. For many, this was the moment the Bayou Barbie persona finally cracked under the pressure of reality. If Vandersloot's response wasn't enough, Chicago Sky's head coach made things worse or better, depending on who you ask. Instead of a quiet warning behind the scenes, the coach chose to make a statement in front of the cameras. Reese was benched for half a game, a bizarre and weak punishment that satisfied no one. Some fans laughed at how soft it looked. Others argued that at least the coach was willing to act. The half suspension highlighted Chicago's bigger problem. They're stuck between protecting their rookie star and preserving team culture. By trying to balance both, the coach ended up pleasing no one. Reese looked humiliated, the veterans still felt disrespected, and fans saw a franchise too afraid to take a real stand. What the cameras didn't show was just as damaging. Reports began to surface that teammates like Ariel Atkins and Rachel Banham were visibly frustrated after Reese's comments. Not publicly trashing her, but making it clear they were tired of the drama. In a league where chemistry matters more than talent, that's a dangerous crack in the foundation. Reese's reputation for stirring conflict followed her from college, but this is different. At LSU, her personality was a shield. In the WNBA, it's becoming a liability. A locker room divided by one player rarely recovers, and the Sky now risk alienating their veterans while coddling their rookie. That's not a recipe for success. Meanwhile, the elephant in the room couldn't be ignored: Caitlin Clark. While Reese was sparking headlines for drama, Clark was quietly carrying Indiana, taking hits night after night and refusing to create controversy. Fans instantly made the comparison. One player makes excuses, the other takes accountability. One drags her team into off-court chaos, the other elevates everyone around her. This contrast has sponsors leaning hard toward Clark, and it's easy to see why. Brands want consistency, professionalism, and mass appeal. Reese might bring drama and clicks, but Clark brings credibility and stability. In the long game, only one of those traits survives. The bigger danger for Reese isn't just her reputation, it's Chicago's future. Free agents talk, veterans hear everything, and when a rookie publicly calls out a respected veteran, it sends a chilling message to anyone considering joining the team. Why would a top player sign with the Sky if they know Reese might throw them under the bus next? This is the hidden cost of drama. It doesn't just fracture the current roster, it poisons the well for years to come. Chicago risks becoming a destination no one wants to touch, and that's a disaster for a franchise still trying to rebuild its championship identity. At the heart of this is a truth Reese can't avoid. Respect isn't optional. In a league still fighting for growth, professionalism matters more than ever. Every word, every action, every feud is magnified, and Reese's live TV humiliation has become a cautionary tale for how fast hype can turn into backlash. The question now is simple. Will Reese learn humility and rebuild trust, or will Chicago decide to cut their losses and move on? Because if this spiral continues, it won't just be one veteran or one coach exposing her, it'll be the entire league. And by then, it'll be too late. So here's where things stand. Angel Reese insulted a legend, got clapbacked on live TV, embarrassed by her coach's weak suspension, and now faces a fractured locker room and a dangerous free agency outlook. This wasn't just drama, it was a turning point. Behind the scenes, the pressure isn't just coming from teammates or fans, it's the sponsors. Reebok tied its brand closely to Angel Reese, marketing her as the bold, unapologetic face of a new generation. But boldness is only valuable when it doesn't cross into disrespect. With this live TV controversy, sponsors are quietly questioning if Reese is the right investment. A messy brand image can tank sales, and the WNBA's biggest issue right now is attracting new money. Every sponsor wants stability and a positive story, and Reese's controversy is the exact opposite. It's one thing to be flashy, it's another to drag your own locker room into the spotlight. If Reebok or other partners decide to pull back, that would be devastating for her career and a clear message to other young players. Talent isn't enough when your reputation keeps sinking. One argument Reese's defenders keep making is, she's young, she'll learn. And while that worked during her college years, the excuse is running out of time. This is the WNBA, a professional league where rookies don't get unlimited passes to stir drama. The league is small, the spotlight is sharp, and mistakes carry long-term consequences. When players like Clark and Cameron Brink are showing maturity beyond their years, Reese can't hide behind inexperience forever. Fans are starting to view her not as a rookie learning the ropes, but as a player who refuses to grow. And in pro sports, perception often becomes reality. The media has played a huge role in blowing up this story. Sports networks, blogs, and even late-night talk shows have replayed Vandersloot's clapback over and over, painting Reese as the loud rookie who got humbled. Clips have gone viral, memes are circulating, and the narrative is slipping out of Reese's hands. Once the media turns you into a storyline, it's nearly impossible to wrestle back control. The problem is this media cycle isn't ending anytime soon. Every future slip-up Reese makes will now be tied back to this incident. Even if she performs well on the court, the shadow of this controversy will linger. And the more it lingers, the harder it becomes for her to rebuild her image. Perhaps the most telling part of this entire saga is what wasn't said. Teammates didn't rush to defend Reese publicly. No rallying posts on social media, no quotes of support in interviews, nothing. In pro sports, silence often says more than words. It signals that the locker room isn't united behind her, and worse, that some may quietly agree with Vandersloot's assessment. For a player trying to cement herself as a star, that's a nightmare scenario. Stars are supposed to bring teams together, not leave them fractured and divided. If Reese can't repair those relationships quickly, she'll be playing on an island, and no one can succeed in this league without their team behind them. Another issue fueling the fire is the gap between Reese's public persona and what insiders say about her privately. To fans, she's marketed as bold, confident, and unapologetic, but sources close to the team describe her as combative, hard-headed, and unwilling to take criticism. That disconnect creates mistrust. Fans start questioning whether the Bayou Barbie image is real or just a marketing gimmick. And in sports, perception is everything. Once fans feel like you're fake, it's almost impossible to recover. Reese's challenge now is to prove she's not just a social media personality with flashy numbers, but a genuine professional who can carry a franchise without dragging it into chaos. The WNBA itself has a stake in this drama. Reese brings clicks, headlines, and viral moments, exactly what the league needs to grow. But at the same time, her behavior risks turning casual viewers away. Fans want competitive games and star power, not constant internal drama. The league has to decide whether to promote Reese as a lightning rod or quietly shift its marketing to safer stars like Clark. If the WNBA leans too hard into Reese's controversies, they risk alienating sponsors and viewers who see the league as unprofessional. But if they sideline her in their promotions, they lose one of their most marketable personalities. It's a no-win situation, and Reese's every move makes that dilemma harder to solve. There's also the question of how this saga impacts Reese herself. Confidence has always been her greatest weapon, but public humiliation can chip away at even the toughest player. When your every move is scrutinized, and your teammates don't back you, self-doubt creeps in. If Reese loses her edge, her on-court performance could decline, turning this into a full-blown collapse. The WNBA is a mental grind, and rookies who can't handle the spotlight rarely last. Reese is now facing the toughest test of her career. Can she tune out the noise, swallow her pride, and rebuild? Or will she double down on the persona that's quickly becoming a liability? The next few months will answer that question. So what's next for Angel Reese? The options aren't pretty. She can issue a public apology and try to repair relationships, but apologies rarely erase the memory of live TV humiliation. She can stay silent and hope the drama blows over, but silence risks making her look arrogant and unrepentant. Or she can double down, embrace the villain role, and risk burning every bridge in Chicago. No matter which path she takes, the clock is ticking. The Chicago Sky can't afford a divided locker room forever, and if Reese doesn't adapt, the franchise may decide she's simply not worth the trouble. This isn't just about one comment anymore. It's about her future in the league. And right now, that future looks shakier than ever. At just the start of her pro career, Reese is already facing the one question most athletes don't see until their 30s: legacy. How will she be remembered? As a trailblazer who brought attention to the league, or as a cautionary tale of wasted potential? Fans, teammates, and sponsors are already writing her story, and once that narrative sticks, it's nearly impossible to rewrite. For Reese, the live TV clapback could either become the turning point where she finally matures and proves doubters wrong, or the moment everyone looks back on as the beginning of her downfall. The choice is hers, but the clock is ticking fast. Angel Reese's clash with her coach and veteran teammate wasn't just a minor drama. It was an earthquake that shook her entire career trajectory. From sponsor doubts and media ridicule to fractured locker room dynamics and looming free agency issues, every layer of this controversy points to the same truth: Reese is running out of chances. Now the spotlight is hotter than ever. If she can grow from this, she might salvage her career and rebuild her image. But if she continues on the same path, the WNBA may soon move on without her. And when that happens, no amount of flashy numbers or marketing gimmicks will save her.